Hey, it's Rick from Metagamers, and one of my favorite cases for the iPhone 4 and the 4S has always been the Speck CandyShell. Well, Speck has released a different revision of this case. It's called the Speck CandyShell Satin. I've got it in both the white color that you see here as well as the black, and I'm going to show them to you up close, so let's have a look. So this is the CandyShell Satin. It is the new version of the CandyShell by Speck Products. It's going to run you about $34.99 or thereabouts. It comes in the packaging that you see right here. So they have changed their packaging just a little bit. Colors are a little bit different. It's a little bit slimmer. And it only includes the phone for the price, or I should say the case for the price. So you're not going to get screen protectors or anything like that. Comes in two different colors at the time of this video. The black that you see here and the white with the red trim that you see right there. I will demonstrate how you take the case off and how you put it on in just a moment. A couple of things to call out about this before I show it to you up close. Because the back of the phone and the whole case itself is not glossy like the original CandyShells, it's more of a satiny type of feel, it doesn't show any scratching. So if you think about the original CandyShell right here, this one doesn't show it all that much, but if you had a black CandyShell, it's going to show a lot of scratching on the back. Not the case with this. It's been designed in such a way that it's got this matte sort of a back to it, so you're not going to see that. You will, however, see some fingerprinting on especially this black model, and that's easily wiped off with a microfiber wipe, so it's not too big of a deal. But let's go ahead and take a look at this up close. So here is the back, and you can see a real nice color to it. It does not attract lint. Very easy to slide in and out of a pocket. There's your camera cutout, nice and big and wide, so you don't have any issues with flash misfirings or washout in your photos. This is an iPhone 4S, and you can see the switch alignment there, so it works just fine, and there are your buttons for your volume. On the underside, here is your dock and speakers, and that lines up just fine. There are no issues with that. I will mention, just like the original CandyShell, if you're docking this with some of your accessories, you may run into difficulty because this area is a bit thick, so you might need to invest in a dock extender. I recommend the SenStation dock extender, and I'll link that in my description. There's along the side, and then along the front, you can see it's got a lay on the table design, and this should play pretty well with screen protectors. And then up on the top, there's your headphone jack. If you've got oversized headphones, maybe DJ equipment, it might be an issue. Otherwise, I haven't run into problems, and you're sleep awake. Very tactile, very, very easy to press these buttons. No issue at all. They even give a little bit of a clicking noise when you press them. So removal of this case is fairly simple. You're just going to take one end and you're going to give it a push. When you do that, it's going to pop out like that. And then what I like to do is I like to grab an edge and then simply pull. And when you do that, the whole case will kind of pop right off. It does require a little bit of effort, and it's a little bit more difficult to do on an angle like I just did. But typically speaking, it's pretty easy to do. Now, I do, before I move on to the white case, I want to call one area out here. In these corners here, there's a slight bit of flaking that has occurred over time here. So just be aware of that. I know some people with the prior versions of CandyShells complained about the pencil eraser effect. And you see a little bit of it there. But for me, it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and move along to the white case. It's got a red interior and a red trim. The way that you pop your phone into this case, one side goes in just like that, and then you simply give it a push. That's all there is to it. So this is what the white one looks like up close. And you can see, again, everything lines up perfectly. White on white. Again, this is an iPhone 4S. So a very nice look to it. And a little festive for the time, I think, as well. I'm shooting this right after Thanksgiving in the United States, coming up on the Christmas holiday. And there is the front as well. Buttons, again, very, very responsive. So that is the CandyShell Satin. It's for the iPhone 4 and the 4S. It's available now. You can pick it up from speckproducts.com. I highly, highly recommend this case. I'm a big fan of the CandyShell cases. Those are what I use pretty much exclusively on my iPhone 4S, and I really like the fact that it now has this satin feel to it, so it doesn't show the scratches as much as some of the original ones did. So that's going to do it for this time. If you guys have questions, comments, or feedback, as always, please feel free to leave me a message below. and I'll do my best to respond as soon as I can. Otherwise, take care, everybody, and have fun.